Yes,
Yes,
sir.
good.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
First of all, Happy New Year and welcome to the again for the next physics class. Wish you a Happy New Year and a happy and prosperous also. But I know the situation is gloomy outside and most of the things are closed from today onwards. But we have to continue our study and everything. Otherwise, whatever you have faced in the for last two years, it will continue. Okay, but I don't think that whatever you faced in your study, that will not come back anymore. That you have not cherished your class 11 or class 12. You have not cherished the exam situation. Maybe some of you will say that I don't want to cherish the exam situation, but believe me, whatever you will achieve in your life, that has to be achieved by any kind of examination. Okay, so we have to go through the examination, maybe obviously, as you have already understood, that it will be online mode, and that will be mostly by MCQ pattern. MCQ in that sense, that is the 30 marks will be 1 marks and 20 question will be 2 marks, that will be 70 marks in the semester. But internal, the question is already set. The 5 marks will be MCQ, short answer type 2 plus 3 will be 10 marks, and the long answer type 3 plus 3 plus 4. Like this kind of question will happen in the semester, in the internal. Okay, internal schedule of the internal exam will be shared within due course, maybe within today or tomorrow, so that you can arrange yourself. But if yeah, so everything will be happen as per schedule. So there will be no leave for study, no study leave like that. So internal, and on the basis of the internal, CA2 will be given. Okay. So if you score poor in the A, that is the internal, then your CA2 marks will be poor. Okay. So I think if you have any kind of question from the last class or any kind of question, we can speak later, or you can ask me here. So we see you have gave me 3 questions. I'll share you right now. So maybe if you have, okay. So question number 1, we see your question was for a diffraction grating of n equal to 100, n equal to n is given, n is given 1000. Find the two closest wavelength of the wavelength 600 nanometer. Lambda equal to 600 nanometer is given. 600 nanometer is given. So that the first order principal maxima just resolve. First order principal maxima just resolve. So m equal to 1. M equal to 1. So what will be the with respect to just resolve with respect to sample. So it is very simple. Which formula we should go? Anyone? Which formula we should go? Anyone? I think the question is, Roisi said that for a diffraction grating of n equal to 1000, find the closest wavelength for a light of 600 nanometer, so that the first order principal maxima is just able to resolve them with respect to 600 nanometer. What will be the answer? So lambda by d lambda. What is the formula? Lambda by d lambda is equal to
NM.
N into N.
okay. So what is given? Lambda is given, n is given, m is given. So this will be the answer. D lambda equal to lambda by n. Sorry, lambda by n into m. Okay. Done. Is
Yes.
it clear? Okay. Number 2. Question number 2. That is a diffraction grating. The same question. It's just a very basic question. I don't know why you are. Question number 2, a diffraction grating of width. Width is given, that is with d equal to 5 centimeter. D equal to 5 centimeter. Produce a deviation of 22 degree for second order of wavelength 580. Deviation, that is theta equal to 22 degree for second order equal to 2, and the wavelength lambda equal to 580. Now the question asks that what will be the slit spacing? What will be the slit spacing? Anyone? What will be the slit spacing? Anyone?
Sir, lambda d by a plus b.
Sorry?
Lambda d by a plus b.
Sir, a
Lambda.
plus b, sir,
Sin
a
theta
plus
equals
b
to
sin theta equals to m lambda.
So basically formula equal to d sin theta equal to m lambda. So from this expression, can you find the value of d? So d is given, theta is given. So what I need here? D sin theta equal to m lambda. Yeah, is it 2 is also given? Let me
A
check.
plus b होगा.
What is given? Width is given, no? That is the grating of things. The width is given. Grating width is given. Diffraction. So lambda is that. D sin theta equal to lambda. Okay. Okay. Huh. D is given. So can I find the D from here? Yes or no? Can I find the D is given? Width is given. Sorry. This is width. This is total width, not D. This is total width. Total width. Yes or no? Then can I find the value of D from here? That is D equal to m lambda by sin theta. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If D is given, that means this total D is inside this 5 centimeter.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Then now how many number of lines per centimeter? 1 by D.
Yes, sir.
By D.
1 by D. That is 1 by line per centimeter. Then how much centimeter is given? 5 centimeter. That 1 by D, that is the number of lines per centimeter.
Into 5.
Number of lines per centimeter. 1 by D into 5, that is nothing but total number of lines. Is it clear to everyone? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
और क्या क्वेश्चन है? कोई बात नहीं है, ये सीधा सिंपल क्वेश्चन. Number 3, monochromatic light of wavelength lambda 500 nanometers passes through a grating. So passes through a grating of width, that is width is given 0.2 millimeter. Pattern on the screen generated 60 centimeter array. 60 centimeter array. Determine the distance between second maximum and বাদি কোশ্চেন করে দেব না ওই এটা করে দেব না নিজে করো কি করে হবে এনিওয়ান
আমি করেছি কিন্তু আনসার ঠিক আছে না বুঝতে পারছি না একবার মিনিমার জন্য n lambda d by d করেছি আর ম্যাক্সিমার জন্য 2n + 1/2 lambda d by d করে তারপর
এটা সিম্পল এই জিনিসটা এটা d দেওয়া আছে lambda ইউজ করা আছে সিম্পল ভুল হবে না অসুবিধা নেই একই ওই রকম
ফর্মুলাটা দিয়ে করলে তো হবে না তারপর ডিফারেন্সটা পাই না ঠিক আছে
চলো আর কেউ is there anything from the last class okay so before going into the next chapter so in this module that is the electromagnetism module, that is the module number first, second, third module there is another chapter is called magnetism. But most of the magnetism, what is the difference between paramagnetism, diamagnetism, ferromagnetism, you have read in your class 12. Okay, so you can go for basic class 12, or I will provide a simple PDF. It is already collected from the internet, but I have rearranged them in a fashion. So I will send it to you. Just go for it. If you find any kind of difficulty, there will be no such difficulty will be there as simple class 12. If you find any kind of difficulty, just raise your query that I have not understood. I will go for that one. That is simple. And why I am not taking that chapter, I will go for that chapter maybe one class later, and this is least important chapter in the entire module. Okay, entire semester also. So I'll send you tomorrow or today I'll send you, but that is not required for that. If you can go for any kind of class 12 group from where you can read the magnetism chapter. Okay, magnetism, what is magnetic induction, what is magnetic flux, what is the difference between diamagnetism, paramagnetism, ferromagnetism, what is coercivity, what is detentivity, like all these basics are there. Okay, and what is hysteresis loop, how can you calculate the energy loss in a hysteresis loop, like this. So I'll send it to that one. But right now, what you will start, it is the most important and the most core chapter of your entire physics curriculum. If you, some of you have thought that I will go for quantum computing and that kind of things in my higher studies or in my career, then this chapter should be learned very, very properly. Okay, so today with that basic notation, I'll start the quantum mechanics. Okay, so quantum mechanics in the module number 4, that is almost it will take 1 month, at least 1 month. If I go in my way, that it will take at least 1 month to end the chapter. Okay, that is the quantum mechanics 1 and 2. So today I'll start the quantum mechanics. In the internal, there will be no question from here, but believe me, internal is not the, what I say, internal. I know that internal is important for you to score good marks in CA2, but with an eye over the semester, we cannot go for this kind of break. That is as quantum is not happening and not in the internal, so we don't want to go for that. Okay, so today I'll start the quantum, and basic understanding of the quantum is very, very essential. Most of the class today, whatever I will discuss, it is almost a storytelling class. Okay, just give me 1 second. Sir, class আছে স্যার ক্লাসে আছি, ক্লাস থেকে বেরিয়ে পড়ছি। ঠিক আছে আমি করব। Okay, so today most of the class is storytelling class. Just listen and try to think that what is the problem with our normal perception, what is the problem with the classical physics. Then I'll come back to the little bit of quantum mechanics, mathematical and everything in that, maybe in the end of this class or maybe from tomorrow onwards. Okay, so right now we'll start the module number, that is the, just hold on, I'll on the switch on the recording. Still the person is at least 8 or 9 people is absent. 2 is already informed me that there is not okay. So let's see. Okay, so today I'll start the, just hold on, what is happening? Okay, done. Today I'll start the next chapter, that is the quantum mechanics. Okay, that is the quantum mechanics. Okay, as I already discussed, that quantum mechanics, this part, this class will be mostly the storytelling class. Okay, but you need the quantum mechanics, and why should we learn the quantum mechanics? Maybe it will take 20 to 25 minutes, but we have to understand this one. Okay, let's start on this one. The laws of Newtonian mechanics is quite successful to understand the dynamics of the all celestial bodies, all earthly object. Okay, equation based on these three laws, that is the Newtonian laws of mechanics, is simplest, and what I can say, it is suitable also for expressing or to depict or to tell about the behavior of the particle, which is large body, macroscopic body, which you can observe in your day-to-day life. Okay, that is simple dynamical process which is appeared for the macroscopic. Macroscopic means it is large celestial bodies which we can see with our naked eye. That all can be expressed with the Newton's laws of mechanics. Further, the Newtonian laws of mechanics, that is the classical, which is a part of classical mechanics. Classical mechanics start with the little bit modified with the, just unmute yourself. Okay, so basically this classical mechanics modified by the Lagrangian equation, Hamiltonian equation, but those are very much consistent with each other, and they are also consistent with the Newtonian mechanics. Okay, so up to 19th century, or most of at the end of the 19th century, up to end of the 19th century, that is the physics is mostly the classical mechanics, the theory of classical mechanics, and the theory of electromagnetism and theory of the thermodynamics. Okay, with the all kind of success that is achieved by this quantum, what I say, classical mechanics, people start to believe that this is the ultimate description of the nature. every phenomena, whatever we are observing, that can be expressed with the terms of classical mechanics. Okay, that would and people try to convince themselves that we are done with that, done with the theory part. With this theory, we can explain all the things which are happening in the around the world. Now, the scenario completely changes at the start of the 20th century. Okay, but the classical physics is seriously challenged, which was previously people thought that this is the ultimate one and this is the unaccessible one, that seriously challenged by in two major part. What are the two major front? That is the two major domain. It fails miserably. What are the domain? Number one domain is called microscopic domain. Number one domain is called the microscopic domain. Okay, what do you mean by that? So basically, in principle, we can say that suppose this is a bulk this is a duster. This is obviously bulk material. Okay, I can say that the property of this duster can be determined if we know the behavior of the electron or the atom inside the molecule. Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
That means that if we know the behavior of the electron and the atom, which that is nothing but the duster is composed of, if we know the behavior of those, then we can predict the behavior of the duster. However, it is found that the observed behavior of the matter, that is of the duster, cannot be explained on the basis of the behavior of the electron and proton. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
basically, this is a macroscopic bodies. You can watch for this one. This is a classical object. Okay. So the behavior of this cannot be explained on the behavior of the electron and proton or the simplest subatomic particle. Okay. So that time people thought that there is some kind of problem. Okay. So we have to understand what is happening at that domain. That domain means there is a very, very small domain which is not observable or which we cannot see with our naked eye. That for that particle, those particles, that is subatomic particle, electron, proton, neutron, quark, all those particles, we need some sort of different interpretation which can explain the behavior of those particles at that domain. Okay, so in microscopic domain, this classical physics miserably fail. Number one. Number two, some of you heard this one, that is called relativistic domain. Okay, relativistic domain. What do you mean by that? So relativistic domain in 1905, due to that is the almost people believe that they are god of physics, that is the Einstein. In 1905 has showed that the classical physics, whatever the classical idea, Newton's laws and everything, that is not valid if the velocity of the particle is of the order of comparable to the velocity of the light. And that means at very high speed, obviously which is comparable to the speed of light. At very high speed, the classical theory fails miserably. Is it clear to everyone? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So my point is that failure of classical theory in these two domains has cleared the idea that we need some sort of new idea, or we need some sort of modification in the old system. Okay, that is nothing but the rise, or that is nothing but the scenario from where the quantum mechanics evolve. Okay, quantum mechanics is not the simple theoretical approach which cannot explain which can explain the behavior of the particle in these two domains. It can also give an idea that at a certain limit, when suppose the quantum mechanics I am said the quantum mechanics is active in that domain. If we go for higher domain, that is from microscopic domain, If we go for the macroscopic domain, that time we'll realize that the quantum mechanics at certain point of time converted to the classical one. That means instead of at microscopic domain, if we go for the macroscopic domain, at that limit, quantum mechanics transform to classical mechanics. Okay. So in summary, we can say that quantum mechanics describe the matter at the macroscopic level. Okay. Or in these two cases. Now the question arises, as I said in the very beginning also, is this important to learn on these two aspects? That in this domain it is not active, in this domain is not active, that the classical field theory fails miserably. But to explain only to this domain, do we need one separate mechanics, which is already classical mechanics is a vast one, complex one also? Again, we are asking for one mechanics which is more complicated. Okay. So my point is that no, we seriously need this one, as it is the valid framework to describe the all phenomena, that is whatever is observed, we are observing in solid, semiconductor, superconductor. Okay. So in general, people say that quantum mechanics are nothing but the functional basis of all the modern physics. Not only it is the part of the physics, it is also the basic backbone of the chemistry, of the biology and everything. Okay. So on the basis that on these two domains, this classical mechanics fails, and on that juncture, the new theory evolved, quantum mechanics. The quantum mechanics is nothing but the backbone of the all modern physics. Right now, with this sort of idea, we'll enter in a new domain, and we'll learn how the quantum mechanics evolve. I know at these 2 points that classical mechanics fails, and it is a juncture that where the quantum mechanics, the idea of quantum mechanics came. Okay. Now we'll study or we'll discuss about the short sketch how the crisis in the physical laws developed at one stage, and thereafter people try to explain those difficulty in terms of quantum mechanics. I know most of you knows these two phenomena very easily, that which cannot be explained in terms of classical mechanics. So let's start with this one. Number 1, that is the stability of the atom. Most of you know stability of the atom. Most of you know stability of the atom. Stability of the atom. Remember, that is the simple basic model, that is the nucleus is center, that is the positively charged nucleus is center, and the electron is moving like in a particular orbit. Okay, now what will happen? So this is nothing but Rutherford model. Can you remember this one? Rutherford established that atom is consist of heavy positive nucleus at the center, and it is surrounded by a negative charge electron. Okay, and the electron is moving like this, that is the earth is moving around a sun. Okay, now what will happen? According to the classical physics, you all know that is if a moving charge particle, if a charge particle is moving in a particular path, then every time the charge particle lost its energy in
Follow over the nucleus.
radiation. Sorry?
Will fall over the nucleus.
Yeah. In terms of they will lose its energy in terms of electromagnetic radiation, and therefore velocity will decrease, and after some time it will fall. It will like that. Remember the picture like this one, like this. Okay. So after some time, therefore the electron will collapse in the nucleus. So this shows that the atom is unstable. Okay, that the stability of the atom cannot be explained on the basis of the classical theory. Okay, so what is the problem? So the problem can be only solved in terms of quantum mechanics, as you have some of you know, that is called the electron cannot move in any arbitrary orbit. It has to be evolved in a particular orbit, sometimes
Particular energy levels.
That time in hydrogen case you have said Bohr radius, remember? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So the next one, come to the next point. So look at this. I need some sort of quantum idea. Next one, that is the hydrogen spectra. Hydrogen spectra. What do you mean by that one? So according to classical theory, where you all know, suppose there is a two level. This is ground level. The energy level is less. This energy is, you say, less. This is energy is E1 and this is E2. Say E1 is less than E2. Now, if we hit a particle from here and it is marched from here, then what will happen? According to classical theory, if an excited hydrogen atom, if we excite an hydrogen atom, the atom will radiate all possible wavelength. That is the radiation which consists all possible wavelength. That is the wavelength varies continuously. Okay. Now, what happened in the case of hydrogen spectrum? What happened in the hydrogen spectrum? You got a particular line. You got particular line, some kind of series. Remember, Lyman series, Balmer series, Paschen series.
Yes.
Brackett series. So remember this kind of formula. I think you have already know this one. That is the Rydberg formula. That is the nu prime. Maybe some will come from this equation. Maybe I will discuss it little later. So maybe 1 by lambda, that is equal to 1 by, I think 1 by r. No, sorry, r into 1 by n1 square
Minus 1 when
that is n2 square. So this is basic formula. So for n equal to 1, so for n equal to n1 equal to 1, that is Lyman. N1 equal to 2, that is Balmer. N1 equal to 3, that is Paschen, and then n equal to 4, that is called Brackett, and that n equal to 5. Okay. So remember this one, that the classical theory is predicting that there will be all possible wavelength, but for hydrogen atom we are getting only particular wavelength. That is Lyman, one is Balmer, Paschen, Brackett, and Pound. There is no other possibility. That is not a continuous thing. So classical theory also doesn't hold good in this aspect also. Okay, is it clear to everyone? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now I'll go for next tussle. That is how it is evolved. That is in these two domain. Now the next domain is called the great wave particle tussle. Okay, that is the that is the tussle between wave and particle. I'll go for one by one example so that you can understand that what is the necessity of the quantum mechanics. Okay, so the number 3, that is the wave particle tussle, that's the struggle. Which one is correct? Which one is wrong? Okay, or whether both are correct, both are wrong. Okay, so that is called the wave particle tussle. That is wave particle struggle. Okay, let's go. So we have already discussed Newton says during the diffraction study, we have already discussed the Newton given idea of corpuscular theory. Okay, on the basis of the corpuscular theory, Newton can easily predict, or we can easily predict also on the basis of that theory, laws of reflection, laws of refraction, all those things. Okay, after that Huygens came into the picture. He suggests that light travels in a wave. Okay, that is the wave theory of light is introduced by Huygens, where he gave an idea that is that like sound wave, the light wave also travel. Okay, in the form of wave. Both theory can explain the reflection, refraction, everything, most of the part. But the problem is that if this is an wave, that means if a wave is passing through air medium, that means if the same wave pass through the glass, if the same wave pass through the water, then the velocity of the wave will be less. Okay, so which is in contrast to the corpuscular theory. Okay, but at that point of time when the corpuscular model was given by Newton and the wave theory given by Huygens, at that point of time there was no way to measure the velocity of the light. Okay, hence it was not decided that which one is correct, that is whether the wave theory is correct or the corpuscular theory is correct. Okay, at that stage all the experimental observation, most of the cases, can be explained either by corpuscular model or by the wave model. Okay, So that is at that point of time you can say that that is it is a choice of the person, that is मेरा choice और तुम्हारा choice, मैं कौन सा लेके explain कर रहा हूँ. Okay, that is at that point of it is the choice of the person or choice of the experimentalist. Say what is the nature of the light, that is the particle or the wave. Okay, as that point of time there was no experimental setup by which we can measure that one. Okay, after that I think I exactly can't remember the name. That name is I think Foucault has measured the velocity of the light. Okay, now the point up to that point it is the choice of the person. Now the great experiment comes, that is called Young's double slit experiment. Young's double slit experiment. Okay. Young's double slit experiment settled the debate in a more profound manner. That is the Young's double slit experiment seriously challenged the Newton's corpuscular theory, and from that experiment Young said that it can be only possible to understand by if we consider the wave theory of light. Okay, so in particular, if the particle model was dominant in initial stage, that is maybe the early days, but with this experiment, Young double slit experiment at the, I think at the 19th century, at that point of time, the wave model comes into the picture in a much profound manner, and this experiment seriously challenged the Newton's laws of Newton's corpuscular theory. Now, so people started to understand that there is some problem with the corpuscular theory, and this experiment is a simple proof that obviously we need the wave character. Now, again we are coming back to the old days. That means there is another experiment. Most of you know the experiment name is called photoelectric effect. Okay, what do you mean by photoelectric effect? Photoelectric effect, that means if you put some light on the metal plate, then there will be ejection of the
Photon.
Photon. That was okay. So my point is that this was wave theory, but photoelectric effect can only explain that if we consider the corpuscular theory. Okay, photoelectric effect cannot predict the behavior of the experimental result on the basis of wave theory. As you know, wave cannot and most of you know this one. If you have read the class 12, in photoelectric effect, if photoelectric effect, this one fall, and the ejection of the electron, this is a continuous, this is an instantaneous process. Okay, this happens instantly, but wave cannot transfer finite amount of energy instantly. So photoelectric effect cannot explain on the basis of the wave theory. So this is a particular example which cannot be explained on the basis of corpuscular theory. This is another example where which cannot be explained on the basis of the wave theory. So then what is the nature of the light? Okay, does that mean that light so with this experiment, this is wave, this is corpuscular. So does these two experiment means that light changes its character whenever we are moving from one experiment to another experiment? That means depending which experiment is particularly we are doing at that point of time, light is changing in their representation. Yes or no?
No, sir.
So then what is happening? So basically, though I have said that it is only explained by the wave theory, and this is explained by only the particle theory, that doesn't mean that we forgot the wave character here and the particle character here. Okay, got my point? Though we are saying that this is only explainable if we consider the wave theory, and this is explainable if we consider corpuscular theory. That doesn't mean here we have forgot the corpuscular theory, and here we have got the we have forgot the part and the wave theory. Okay, so how? So we know that the photon energy depend on which parameter? Photon energy. Remember, photon energy of the photon is nothing but E equal to hν. Yes or no? So in the photoelectric
Yes,
effect, okay. So we are using the photon, that the energy of the photon is dependent on h nu. So the photon energy depends on the wavelength. Where does the idea of wavelength comes? That is nothing but the wave character of the light. Got my point? So even though we are saying that the photoelectric cannot be explained on the basis of the wave theory, it can only explain in the basis of the corpuscular theory, but that doesn't mean we have forgot the wave character, as the photon energy depend on the nu, that is nothing but the 1 by lambda. Yes or no? Is it clear? That means a proper explanation of the photoelectric effect needs both the particle aspect and the wave aspect of the light. Got my point? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now next is, so I am not going for the entire voltage. Maybe some of you are thinking how long it will take. It will take more, another 5 to 10 minutes. So the next, how can we predict? This is not, we have not forgot the wave theory here. So both wave theory and particle theory are here. Now can you tell me Young's double slit experiment? Though we are saying that it is only explainable by the wave theory, that mean, does it mean that we have forgot the corpuscular theory also?
So Young's double slit, the intensity is amplitude square.
Amplitude square. That what does it mean? Yeah, wave theory. So I said that. So then, what is the no? So there is a simple experiment. Okay, there is a simple experiment. It is also derived. It is also what is it? It is if you go for any kind of YouTube video, you can check in the few labs there are high-end facilities are there. Maybe I'll demonstrate you later. So suppose there is you are performing the same experiment with a Young's double slit. Suppose this is a slit. This is a Young's double slit. Okay, say this is my Young's double slit. Now you are performing the same experiment with a electron gun. That means it's a simple gun from which if you trigger the gun, then electron will eject.
Electron ejects out.
Okay. So now this is a screen. Now suppose this is closed, at this point is closed. This point is closed. You are ejecting electron from here. Now what kind of pattern you will see here and this point of thing? One is closed. This is only open. What kind of pattern you will see from here? Anyone?
পার্টিকেল হলে একটা জাস্ট স্পটে ইলেকট্রন থাকবে আর ওয়েভ হলে থাকবে না
I am not saying
Electron has some
No.
wavelength,
কোনো কিচ্ছু নয়। No,
de Broglie wavelength.
No, I have not said anything. Just I am going for I told you that this cannot be explained on the basis of wave particle theory. Okay. So my point is that if I perform the same experiment with a single particle, that is, you trigger one gun 1 point, then one electron eject. Another trigger, another electron eject. And this is closed right now. What kind of pattern you will get?
It's a diffraction pattern.
Not diffraction pattern. The pattern will be like this. Is it okay or not?
Yes, sir.
Can
Yes.
Sir,
So-
why this kind?
So basically, my point is that, Elan, my point is that most of the particle will go this way. Yes or no? So the maximum intensity will be there.
Yes, sir.
And there is also possibility that electron can deflect from here.
আচ্ছা
Yes,
probability
sir.
Okay, so it will be a probabilistic curve. So like this, done. So right now,
So mostly related with interference.
So now, where is it is interfering?
Sir, is this that probability curve
A
thing?
simple probability curve, that the maximum probability here, so whenever we move that side, probability will decrease. Got it? Yes or no?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
now,
sir.
now the next situation, this is closed, this is open. What will happen?
একই জিনিস নিচে হবে।
সেমই তো হয়।
Same will happen. Done? So you have nothing to say with this experiment. Now, if we open this one, if we open this two, if we open these two, and you are maybe you are far away from this one, that this point, far away from this one, you have triggered this one, and they are very close. Though I have put this way very long, even large view, but this is very small. Okay, say few centimeter or few millimeter, and you have triggered the button. What will happen? Both are open. That time, as far as this one, this should be like this, no? Superposition of these two, yes or no? So that particle should be like this, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But in reality, what happened? In reality, if you go for this one, you will find that is the same interference pattern, same diffraction pattern, Young's double slit, sorry, interference pattern is happening in that point of time. That is the same, that whatever you got in the Young's double slit experiment, that same pattern is coming. So how is it possible? Okay, well, just give me 1 second. I think I have that one, or maybe just give me 1 second. Just hold on. I can share it. Just hold on. I think I have that one. Just give me 1 second. So let me. Just. Okay. So I think I have. Okay. Just hold on. Yeah. So maybe I'll go for this one. Yeah. Okay. So you can check this video. Okay. Yeah. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what can you predict? That means if you trigger one single atom, one single trigger at that point of one electron will appear. Look, one electron appear. Okay. So if you perform another trigger, that is another way. Okay. So look at this. Whenever you are putting up to this point, the pattern is arbitrary. So
Sir, YouTube screenটা black দেখাচ্ছে।
Asbe, only the point is coming. Okay, YouTube screen is almost black. Number 1 on 2 point is coming. Okay, look at this. Whenever you increase the number of electron, look at this. The pattern will come. Okay, if we increase the more and more number, maybe millions, maybe more than 2 million, 3 million, and look at this. Whatever the pattern that will appear, that is nothing but alternative dark and bright fringes. Look at this. It's already started to coming. Okay, so if we find out this is an alternative dark and bright fringes. Okay. Maybe with more number of electrons, the pattern will be like this. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
To everyone that though we have said that in Young's double slit experiment, the wave theory dominates, but that doesn't mean we have forgot the part that is the corpuscular theory cannot explain the Young's double slit experiment. So if we go for the similar experiment with single electron and perform the experiment for multiple times, 1 million, 2 million times, then we'll get this exact similar pattern with the same as this whatever pattern we are observing in wave theory, we'll get the same pattern with the particle also. Okay, so basically whatever we have discussed, the photoelectric effect and the Young's double slit experiment might left you in the some kind of confused state that whether it is light is a particle or a wave. That is because you are not accustomed with this kind of things in the normal ways. Okay, an object like light has both particle character and the wave character, but they are mutually elusive. That means whenever you are saying, that means that whenever that is some for a particular experiment, you have to explain the behavior in terms of the wave character, and for a particular another experiment, you have to explain the behavior in terms of corpuscular character. But that doesn't mean we have forgot the other character at that point. Okay, so whenever you detect a light or a photon, that is nothing but a particle, but where the photon will fall or where we can found the photon, that will depend on this probability, and the probability is nothing but the related with the wavelength at the wave character. Okay, so detection of the photon is depend on the corpuscular theory, and where we can detect the photon, that is nothing but related with the wave character of this one. Is it clear to you, everyone? So basically, wave character and the light character, they are complementary to each other. Just hold on. Okay, so my point is that the corpuscular theory is this one. Okay, so this is, so they are they are complementary to each other, so you have to consider in that way. Okay, is it clear to everyone? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so they और एक simple example देता हूँ. अब बड़ा play experiment बोल रहा हूँ. Simple. सोच लो कि एक फोटोन डाल, एक सिंपल वन फोटोन, ठीक है. अब ये फोटोन कहाँ जाएगा? ये इस तरफ जाएगा या उस तरफ जाएगा? ये रिफ्लेक्ट हो जाएगा. So you are saying that if there is one photon, then will come this way. Why not you are putting further?
Sir, we cannot say.
Thank you so much. We can't say. We can only say, if we perform the experiment for maybe 1,000 times, million times, then we can say, suppose this is how many?
Then we get a probability of
Then we can
how many
probably
photons.
80% will go reflect and 20% will refract, like this. We cannot predict, that is the, if there is a single photon, it will go for the 80% chance is there. We can say the 80% chance is that it will go in this way and it will come in this way. But we cannot predict that it will surely go in this way or surely go in this way. Okay. The problem comes. Problem is why we can't predict? Why we can't predict? Anyone?
Sir, Heisenberg uncertainty.
No. Why we can't predict? Anyone? Anyone? Why we can't predict? Why we can't predict? Class A.
Oh, because
class A, sir.
So because it has both wave
both
and
particle and wave.
क्योंकि this is the law of nature. मतलब हम लोग का जो धरित्री माता है वो तुमको सब कुछ समझ में नहीं देंगे. It is not the limitation of you. It is not the limitation of the instrument. It is the limitation of the theory. mother nature doesn't allow you to predict all these kind of things. Okay, got my point? It's a simple answer.
এটা কি ছিল?
It is not the difficulty, it is not the shortcomings of you, it is not the shortcomings of the theory, it is the nature of the mother that she doesn't disclose everything to the human being. So we can't predict, we can only tell us about the probability. Got my point? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so basically in this juncture
স্যার কিন্তু কেন প্রেডিক্ট করতে পারি না ওটা কি বললেন?
we can't predict, मतलब তোমাকে আমি বলবোই না, মানে I am not telling you, मतलब कुछ भी कर लो तुमको नहीं बोलूंगा, ऐसा होता है ना, rigid, that the rigid, we can't predict, we can't say particular, we can only say that this is the probability that this will go in this way, this will go in that way. That's why. Okay, it is the laws of nature.
স্যার কিন্তু এটা এরকম ভাবে বলা যায় না যে আমরা পজিশন আর মোমেন্টাম একসাথে ডিসাইড করতে পারবো না, সেজন্য।
Why? Who said it? That
ওটা
is,
তো Heisenberg।
Sir,
you are going for a Heisenberg uncertainty principle that we cannot go for the precise measurement. That is why I am saying that the mother nature doesn't allow you to measure. If you measure one precisely, then other will be done.
ঠিক আছে।
Clear? So
মানে মেনে নিতে হবে।
we have to go for that one. Okay, so next day I'll start from here. So if this is up to this one, we have started the stability, we have started the quantum mechanics evolve. We have checked that the stability of the atom, we have checked the hydrogen spectrum, difficulty of the hydrogen spectrum. Then we have talked about little bit of wave particle duality. Then the last aspect, that is some of you have said that if I say that radiation is going on, so you will say that what do you mean by radiation? You will obviously come into the picture. Radiation is nothing but a wave character. Okay, so next day we'll start the particle aspect of radiation. That is whenever a radiation is going on, that is along with the wave character, the particle wave character should be explained more properly so that we can understand the basic phenomena. Okay, so next day I'll start from here, that is the particle aspect of radiation, and syllabus starts from here, that is the particle aspect of radiation. And according to classical field theory, any particle has electron and that the energy and momentum, and the OAV is characteristic by wave character, that the propagation vector k equal to 2 pi by lambda. Okay,
yes,
so particle and wave exhibit completely different character. Okay, but as I said, they are mutually exclusive. So we can also say that the waves can exchange amount of energy with the particles or vice versa. So next day onwards, we'll understand the particle aspect of radiation, and then we'll try to understand the complex phenomena, say spectral radiation of the black body. We'll understand the Compton effect, we'll understand the hydrogen atom problem, we'll understand the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. But before going into that, I think whatever we have discussed, the basic foundation of the quantum mechanics is very, very, right now up to this point it is done. So maybe next day onwards, I will start the particle aspect of radiation, and then we'll enter into the syllabus. So maybe some of you can, if you can go for the recordings, you will not find so much important thing in this one. That is, there will be no as such syllabus I have covered, but I have tried my best to give you an idea why we need quantum mechanics, what are the drawbacks, drawbacks we face during the explanation of the quantum mechanical phenomena. Okay, is it clear to everyone? Is it clear?
তাহলে একটা পার্টিকেলকে আমরা ইন্ডিভিজুয়ালি দেখলে, মানে একটা পার্টিকেলকে ইন্ডিভিজুয়ালি দেখলে ওটা পার্টিকেল মনে হবে, আর একটা অ্যাজ আ কালেকটিভ ইউনিট দেখলে নরমালি ওয়েভ মনে হবে।
নাও হতে পারে, but probability is there that you can get. So Young's double slit experiment, if you go for that one, Young's double slit experiment, you can find out if we go for multiple times, multiple particle, there is million, few million.
Sir,
you get the हाँ बोलो.
Sir, the Broglie hypothesis says that every particle is a wave and every wave is a particle.
No. They have de Broglie is a. I'll come back to that picture also. De Broglie is a simple what is a PhD student at that point of time. I that, but later he has realized he predicted that term should be there. He predicted that if the wave has a particular character, wave has a particle character, that means the particle has also some wave character. That is, he also has a subatomic particle like electron, proton. They have the, according with the corpuscular character, they have the wave character. And rather, Davison-Jarmar and the Davison-Jarmar and the J.J. Thomson proves that yes, surely there is the wave character also. But I'll come back to that point. But they are not happening simultaneously. Okay. So if you say that everyone has that, why I have not the particle character? Why I have not the wave character?
Sir, because we have
microscopic.
small.
I am a very large object. That is, I am a macroscopic body. I am not a microscopic body.
So the wave character becomes negligible.
Yeah, I can only predict the quantum mechanical phenomena if we go for the subatomic domain.
Yes, sir.
That time also, yeah, but right now मेरा weight देखो 55 है, तो मैं
স্যার
कैसे
আপনার হাইট কত?
55 बहुत सारे से कम है.
Sir,
हाँ, बोलो.
Sir, instead of so much conflict, why we have not gone to the third item instead of wave and particle?
और कुछ नहीं है बेटा, और क्या बनाओगे? बट
ढूंढना चाहिए था ना साइंटिस्ट को, इतना कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है वेव और पार्टिकल.
अभी ढूंढ रहे हैं. हिग्स बोसोन जब ने पढ़ा ना, गॉड्स पार्टिकल सब कुछ ढूंढ रहे हैं. व्हाट इज द सोर्स ऑफ दैट वन? पीपल आर फाइंडिंग ईच एंड एवरी डे. तो मतलब यहाँ सबसे बड़ा एक्सपेरिमेंट जो सांड का हो रहा है, सांड, मोस्ट ऑफ सांड स्विट्जरलैंड, दैट इज आल्सो द origin of that one.
Sir, hadron collider.
Hadron collider.
So people are still searching for that one. It is not that science has stopped. बेटा साइंस स्टॉप हो जाएगा तो आज कोविशील्ड और कोवैक्सीन कुछ नहीं बनता. एक साल में बना दिया. ओके, चलो नेक्स्ट डे स्टार्ट करो, पढ़ते रहो.
Sir, I want, sir, can you please send me the soft copy of my class 12 mark sheet, or I have to come to college?
मेल करो, कर दूंगा. ठीक है, admission.htct और मेरे को मेल करो, मैं कर दूंगा. ठीक है,
ठीक है सर. Thank you, sir.
बाय.
Thank you, sir.
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 Thank you.
Thank you, sir.